So now you've spoken with a real estate investor and you've given them all the information they need. They've seen the property and now they've given you a verbal offer. So at this point, what is the next steps in the process? Well, usually the investor, after using all of the information that you have given them, they'll craft their offer, create the verbal offer, and then you have three options. You can either accept the offer as is, start moving on. You can counter or negotiate against the investor. Or the last thing is you can just reject the offer completely. So let's break these down. So the easiest one is just rejecting the offer. There's no additional steps needed after that. The next one is you can counter the offer that the investor was given. Usually this doesn't work very well because investors, when they give offers, it's not just a willy-nilly offer. Usually they have some type of algorithm or some type of spreadsheet where they plug in all the factors that they receive from you, and then that spits out an offer. Now that offer may have maybe $1,000 or $2,000 in wiggle room, but for the most part, the offer that investors give you is pretty much the offer that they're willing to close with. You risk losing the deal when you negotiate with investors because you have one property to sell, and so that is your main focus. But with investors, they can be talking to 20, 50, 100 different sellers at the same time. So if at any point the counter negotiation goes outside of the acceptable buy box or the acceptable purchase price that they're willing to buy it at, they'll just close down that file and say, hey, Mr. Seller, it's nice talking to you. Let me know if there's anything else we can do to help you out. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to move forward with you at that offer. And then they go to the next seller and the next seller. You got to realize that the investor side of the world is a large volume funnel. For every one house that I buy, I usually have to call 2,000 people, and I usually will have to make about 100 offers. So to do that, we need to line up a large pipeline of sellers. And then the last thing is going and accepting the verbal offer. So the next steps when it goes to accepting the verbal offer is getting a contract in place, signing the contract, both parties, and then sending that contract to the attorneys for them to review. In our state and in a lot of states, when you accept a contract, that contract's not actually accepted because there is anywhere between a 3 to a 10-day attorney review period where for any reason the attorney can either reject the contract, accept the contract, or propose modifications to the terms. So that's the next step in the process after a verbal offer has been presented.